What's up guys, it's Kelly and today I've got yet another swatch and review for you. I feel like it's been a while since I've said that, that's kind of weird. But anyway, today we are reviewing the China Glaze Spring 2019 collection called The Arrangement. So this collection features 12 new shades with a ton of different finishes. China Glaze is one of my favorite brands because it is both affordable and mainstream, so it's super easy to find in stores and it's also super inexpensive as far as salon brands go. And yeah, so let's just get started with the swatches. So as with all my swatch videos, I am using base coat underneath all of my swatches. This is the Cuccio base coat. I will link it in the description for anybody who's interested. So starting off, first color is I Still Believe. By the way, great name. So this is kind of an army green duochrome shimmer. It starts off super sheer, but you can build it up. I ended up getting 2 coats for full opacity, but it kind of has this really intense, it's like a very muted green base with a really intense shimmer in it that has that kind of duochrome shift. Looks kind of gold when you first glance at it, but you can see all of those nice little colors in it. It looks like there's still patches on my nails, but that's actually just my reflection because it is that shimmery, so kind of weird, but yeah. Full opacity, 2 coats. Next up we have the color Show 'em Who's Blossom, and this is a really pale kind of dusty green, another really pretty just spring color to have. It was a little bit sheer in the first coat, but I ended up getting opacity again in 2 coats, and I was really satisfied with the formula on this. Very easy to work with, self-leveling, and it looked super glossy and really nice on the nails. Next up we have the color, this is Ranunculus, and this is a really pale dusty blue, and it has a really intense shimmer in it. It's actually pretty similar to the shimmer in the color I Still Believe, and it's like kind of like a greenish gold shimmer, kind of hard to tell on the nails. You can see it a lot more intensely in the bottle, and you can kind of get a glimpse of it on the nails, but you gotta look really close. Anyway, this color is actually pretty sheer. I ended up having to do 3 coats for full opacity. It is a really pretty color, kind of more of a transition from winter to spring, but I do wish that it was a little bit more opaque because 3 coats can be kind of annoying. Next up we have the color Hydrangea Danger, which again, amazing name, I love this one. So this is a really light blue, almost periwinkle kind of color. At first I thought it was a cream, but once I started applying it, I realized it actually has a little bit of shimmer to it. So this color kind of reminds me of Essie Bikini Sotini, if you guys remember that. It's a pretty popular shade from them. I personally don't love that shade, and I don't love when polishes look like creams but then have a little bit of shimmer in them. To me, that kind of makes them just slightly more annoying. So I was honestly a little frustrated with it, and plus again took 3 coats to get full opacity, but looking at it now on screen I do think it's really gorgeous, so maybe I was being a little bit harsh. Next up we have the color Saved by the Bluebell, which is a really dark blue jelly. So when I first saw this, I thought it was a cream, and I was really confused as to why this was considered a spring color or in a spring collection, but as soon as I started applying it, I realized it was in fact a sheer jelly. So this color is really interesting. I don't think I have any dark jellies like this. I ended up doing 2 coats, and I got the type of full coverage that I like with a jelly, which it ends up being still a little bit sheer, but you can kind of see through it, and it kind of has that little squishiness vibe to it, so totally love this one. And next up we have the color Lavender. These colors, I mean the names just really speak to me, honestly. So this is a really gorgeous lavender shade. I was so disappointed to see how sheer it was because I feel like China Glaze pale purple / lavender shades are just so beautiful. China Glaze Lotus Begin is one of my favorite purples of all time, and I thought that this could maybe replace that, but it did take 3 coats for full coverage, which is annoying, but it is still a super gorgeous color, so I don't know, maybe it still will. It's really beautiful. Next up we have the color There She Rose Again, which is a really bright pink, but it ended up also being a jelly, and this one is like a jelly would be, super sheer. I ended up doing 2 coats to get the full coverage that I like with a jelly, and I think this color is super gorgeous. I definitely think this could carry me through to the summer. I definitely like how bright and fun it is, and I just love that kind of jelly squishiness. It just makes it really bright and shiny and fun. I don't know. Next up we have the color Senora Flora, which is kind of a mix between a pink and a peach, like a peachy pink color. So when I first applied this, I didn't realize that it was a matte shade, and as it dried I got super excited because I love the matte shades that China Glaze makes. I do wish that they had a way to indicate on the bottle if something was matte, but that's okay. This actually ended up being pretty full coverage in the first coat, but since I didn't realize it was a matte, I wanted to do a second coat just to kind of smooth it down. But I absolutely love the finish, I love the color, it is perfect for spring, and it's super professional. Next up we have the color Good as Marigold, which is my favorite in this collection. It is a really bright neon orange, and it is super fun. This is actually what I'm wearing in my latest hair transformation video, because a ton of you guys asked. I did have it in the description, but I'll tell you guys anyway. But yeah, so I ended up doing 2 coats for full coverage. On some of my bigger nails, like my thumbs, I did have to do 3 coats to cover that visible nail line, but again, just super gorgeous color, super bright, super fun. I'm in love. Next up we have the color Better Late Than Nectar, which is a sheer orange kind of topper. I always put these over black just so you can see what the true color is, but I probably wouldn't do that with this color. I think it would be better over an orange, but just so you guys can see, it's actually very, very subtle. I ended up throwing on a second coat just because I felt like you could actually barely see the shimmer, but you can see there's really a lot going on in this polish. It kind of leans like a pinky orange, and then there's just a lot of little subtle color variations in it. It ended up looking good over black with 2 coats, but not very springy, so I would do this over pretty much any other color. Then we have the color What's Up? Bitter Cups, which is actually kind of a weird name. I don't get that one. But aside from that, this is a really interesting kind of bronze shimmer. It does end up being a little bit streaky, so you want to be careful with how you apply it. This one did take 2 coats for full coverage. It is interesting. I might use it for nail art, but I don't personally love the color. Don't think it looks especially good on me since I am so pale, and I don't know, it just doesn't really suit me very well. And last but not least, we have Wildflower Hour. So mine kind of sat on its face a little bit, so you could see all that kind of yellowish green kind of settled in, but it is actually more of like a little pinkish flecked topper. And again, put it over to black just so you can kind of see that. But this is a really gorgeous topper. I would put this over any color too. It just looks really nice. Okay, so I have a lot of thoughts on this collection. I feel like it's kind of a mixed bag. A part of me is super excited because there are so many things that I love about China Glaze and this collection. Like, I love their wide flat brushes. I feel like they're really good because even if you're the type of person that prefers the skinnier brushes that they used to have, these are still like pretty thin as far as wide flat brushes go. Like, they're significantly thinner than the Sally Hansen brushes. They're still thinner than OPI brushes, but they're wide enough that it just makes it easier to apply. And I also love that they have a ton of finishes. I love that they're not scared to do that. And I love that they have a ton of different colors too, because I feel like a lot of times with spring polishes, mainstream brands tend to just be like, oh, pastel pink, pastel purple, a light dusty blue. So it's really nice that they kind of branched out and did a lot with it. But that being said, I feel like there's just too much going on with this collection. One, I don't think it's really cohesive. As a whole, there's just too many different types of finishes. There's too much going on. I don't know. So maybe this is just me, but I'm the type of person that loves collections as a whole. And I feel like even though there is something in this collection for everyone, nobody's gonna want this whole collection because I feel like there's too much different stuff going on. Like, there's jellies and some people don't like jellies, and then there's toppers and some people don't like toppers. For me personally, my favorite type of finish is a cream opaque polish because I like doing nail art, I like having a matte finish, and there's really maybe 2 polishes in this collection that I can use for a nail art look that I can mattify that's like cream nail polish. Like, my style of nail art, I can't really use this collection for. So even though I like the colors to wear on their own, I always try to think in terms of nail art, and maybe that's just weird. I don't know. So I can't decide how I feel about it. I would love to know what you guys think. Definitely let me know in the comments what you think of this collection, what you'd like, what you don't like. I don't know. Just let me know your thoughts. I feel like I'm all over the place today. But yeah, so give this video a thumbs up if you like my swatch and reviews. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, because I do these videos a lot, and I also do other videos, and I won't tell you what they are. You're gonna have to find out because it's so hard to find out, right? But yeah, that's it. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Okay, so fun fact, I'll expand on what I just said, which is that cream polishes are my favorite finish of polish. So I feel like that's gonna surprise a lot of people, but like I said, the reason for that is I just love doing nail art and I love having a matte finish, but also and kind of weird, I guess, for most people who are nail artists like I am, I just love wearing a solid cream polish most often. If I'm doing my nails, my go-to thought is gonna be like, oh, which cream have I just gotten recently? And I love other finishes, don't get me wrong. I'm obviously a nail polish addict. I love all nail polishes, but I feel like my default is just to do a solid opaque cream. And when I do nail art, I do occasionally do other finishes, but my default for nail art is also using a cream finish. I don't know, I love it. Am I the only one? Does anybody else love cream finishes as much as I do? I feel like they've almost become unpopular. Like as the holographic craze has gone, people like creams less and less, and I just love creams. I don't know. You tell me what you think, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.